After months of anticipation, British Prime Minister David Cameron on Wednesday delivered his much-awaited speech on the UK's role in Europe. Under intense pressure from the Eurosceptic side of his own Conservative Party, Cameron promised to offer the British people an in-out referendum on EU membership. Before that, however, he hopes to renegotiate a new settlement for the UK in Europe.
I am in favour of having a referendum. I believe in confronting this issue, shaping it, leading the debate, not simply hoping that a difficult situation will go away.
But things are not that simple. The referendum would only come if Cameron wins the next elections in 2015. Recent opinion polls show Cameron is currently trailing behind the opposition Labour Party. The UK Independence Party, who wants a complete breakup with Europe, is also gaining momentum in Britain. This is why some believe the speech could not have come at a better time.
It was a speech delivered as a Conservative leader, not as the British Prime Minister. This was a speech of someone whose own party is divided and who's facing a threat from the UK Independence Party. He's bought political time for himself. Maybe he can change the mood in the UK, which is at the moment deeply sceptical about the European Union, but knows nothing about the European Union. As for people in Brussels and in the rest of Europe, I think many of them will be saying to Britain, oh please, just make up your mind.
What I heard from the British Prime Minister this morning was a huge ambivalence. It's I will leave it 4 years before we have to have a referendum. To cut it short, he's left the whole discussion and decision about Europe hanging out there in the wind. That's not good for business, that's not good for Britain in Europe, that's certainly not good for British citizenship in Europe, and undoubtedly, although he's looked at his own audience inside the Conservative Party, it's not good for British politics either.
According to Cameron, a potential EU treaty change to achieve closer integration in the Eurozone could be a great opportunity for the UK to regain some of the Brussels-controlled powers. He did not mention, however, which powers he was referring to.
At some stage in the next few years, the EU will need to agree on treaty change to make the changes needed for the long-term future of the euro. My strong preference is to enact these changes for the entire European Union, not just for Britain. But if there is no appetite for a new treaty for us, and if there is no appetite for a new treaty for us, or for us all, then of course Britain would be ready to address the changes we need in a negotiation with our European partners.
But EU leaders have already warned Cameron that an EU à la carte is a no-go and he cannot cherry-pick what policies he wants to subscribe to.
I think there'll be a great deal of resentment amongst other member states if there is that sort of cherry-picking. And as Guy Verhofstadt, the Liberal leader, has said quite clearly, if you cherry-pick, if Britain wants to cherry-pick, then 26 other countries will want to cherry-pick too, and then we all fall apart.
Nobody's going to accept this. It's unrealistic, so therefore it makes for an impossible dream, which you sell to a public back in the United Kingdom just in order to be able to make some degree of satisfactory peace with your own backbenchers in your own political party. How ridiculous does that sound?
The UK became a member of the EU in 1973, and since then it has opted out from key EU policy areas. The country is not part of the Eurozone and has not signed the Free Border Schengen Treaty.